Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks, and I'm here today with another mock video. This one is a completed mock of my custom hospital for my own town. I still haven't really thought a name of the town, but you've seen the update at least about a month or so back when it was just the first floor of it. And now I've built up an entire second floor and the roof, and it's great. I mean, granted, it does look a little bit odd that the second floor doesn't even match the first floor. I would have preferred if it was all white in here and even the framing around the windows to be white. Maybe even have another window or two. But with the limited parts that I have to really squeeze in all that extra stuff, I have used a lot of white bricks for other projects and even for the first floor. So I didn't really have enough to afford for that. So I did have a lot of the light gray bricks that I just shove into places just to finish up the build for now. Maybe I'll update this at some point in the future where it'll have more white added to it. But for right now, I kind of like it the way it is. So let's take a look one floor at a time. And by the way, in case anybody's wondering, this is a custom minifigure I made a while ago when I first started working on the town and working on this hospital. And I don't remember if I mentioned him there, but this is supposed to be a custom minifigure of Alex Faciani, one of many different gamers that I watch on YouTube. He's part of the National Dex, which does all kinds of trivia about Pokemon, and he is also part of Super Beard Bros, which is a gameplay channel with him and Gerard the Completionist, which is, they're great. They're just like some of my favorite YouTube channels. So, let's take a closer look inside of this hospital, one floor at a time. To start things off, I have done this in a similar to modular style in which all the floors are separated by tiles and a few plates to keep them on, and it makes it easy to pop them off. This garage area may look a little odd to most of you because, it doesn't really seem to touch the ground. Well, I did that on purpose so that I can have enough room when the roof is up or down to actually push the garage door open and closed. I do have pieces on both sides and I could have easily pushed it to the ground, but I also wanted to add height to it so that if I make a custom ambulance, I'll be able to fit it in there pretty easily. For right now, I have a whole bunch of ambulances from previous LEGO sets, and I will do a video at some point talking about my top 5 of them. But for right now, they don't quite fit inside of that space, and not even because of width, but mostly because of height. Even when the garage door is all the way up, I will need to find some way to play around with that and make it different. I do like how I got to use some of these classic hospital pieces here and here, and even build my own to match with them, just to add in the hospital theme. This one I had from a previous town hospital, a very small urgent care type thing, but I thought it would still be nice to add in here. So, let's take a look around. We mostly have nothing much on this side except for just this window and some wall detail there. Over here, we have most of the interior, which is just a waiting room on this side. There is a door over here so that those who need to come in or out of the ambulances can go through that door and theoretically bring the stretcher through there. There's no stairs or elevator built here, but simulated, just imagination-wise. There is a large secretary's desk with her spinning chair. She's got some coffee, and she's trying to find some information about this person who's come in to see a patient. So we also have a couple of chairs over here and over here, because there's a small break room, or I should really say cafeteria room. This piece falls down occasionally, though. This, I used a panel, a dark bluish, not dark bluish, a black panel, and you can kind of see right behind there that there is a print for ice cream. That is actually from the Emma's ice cream truck from LEGO Juniors that I reviewed some time ago. I thought it would just be a nice way to fit it in to make it a big ice cream vending machine. Right next to that, we have a few little shelves, and this one serves as a microwave, so you can heat up some coffee inside of there. If there's a coffee machine, I'll try to fit that in somewhere. But for right now, I like the little spaces in here. I really do like how I added these windows. I think that adds some nice design to the structure. Just some little things in there kind of break up from the larger flat windows. And even just some color in here just to symbolize this is an extra, separate area of the hospital for, casual use. You also have this area up here. This is supposed to be some sort of ventilation system. And there's also a similar piece like that. You can kind of see it peeking through there, but it's supposed to be towards the outside. To give you a closer look here at the secretary's desk, you can see there's a couple computers, and there's a small telephone, or at least keypad of some sort. They're not really a telephone piece I have in white to put in there for now, so they'll just serve it as a keypad, like something you would just press and speak through it. And we also have these pillars here that kind of hold up the structure of everything, especially along this end. That's why they exist. And they also help for when I put the second floor on top. And this is a little bit offset, so I do have the extra stud area over here. I gotta remember that every time I put this on. So I can take the roof off, and we'll take a look at the second floor. The second floor of the hospital has a small hallway that, if theoretically you had a staircase going up to it, this would be the first place you would walk into. And from there, you go to 3 different rooms in this establishment. For this one, we have a good amount of staff, not just this one secretary downstairs, but you can see we have 2 nurses and 2 doctors, and there's also another doctor that's currently in the room on the right side. Before we go into the rooms, we've got one doctor peeking her eye at this peculiar closet. If I could see if I could open that. It's not always an easy thing to do, but unless we use a minifigure to hold on to it, and then we could push this part open. And usually works, but these things can be finicky. So if you just give me one moment. There we are. So now this area can open up, and we have a few more supplies inside of the closet. I haven't really determined what all the supplies are going to be as of recording this video, but for right now I got a bright blue barrel in there, and there's a hair dryer, so that if any of the patients need, a little help getting out of bed and getting dressed and ready for the day and things, that kind of supplies is existing in there. That way they don't get harmed with it in their own rooms. I may change that around over time, maybe put a broom in there or something, but for right now, I kind of like how it is. So inside of each of these rooms, these 2 rooms on the left are patient rooms, where there are a variety of accessories in there. But we're going to go to the room on the right first, and this room has the operating room, kind of your emergency room, with a little operation on the table. So we have what appears to be Brick Zapper in here, giving some injection, some sort of serum to this patient. Personally, I haven't determined what his ailment is, but he seems a little nervous to get a needle, so hopefully it all turns out well and he's not too squeamish. We also have a computer right behind them, and there's also along this side we have a step stool, and that is actually important for the other half of the room. The other half of the room has a whole bunch of a whole bunch of cabinets up here, and the step stool helps with minifigures getting up to the top cabinets. There's also a small cabinet on this side for more things that they can put in, such as serums or, any experimentations or whatever it may be. So, anything that they'll need for operating. And, they're very friendly staff. You can see on the smiles on their faces. They enjoy being here. She has her glasses on because in certain operations, they might need them. And I also like how I had it in the Simpsons little leg pieces there, just to fill in some of the look to her. Now, on the other side, we have the patient rooms, which I described before. Now, in each of these patient rooms, they are pretty much the same thing. They have a visitor's chair in the yellow, they have a receptacle in the corner, and you can consider that either a trash bin or maybe a biohazard bin. I don't really have a piece to identify either, but for right now, I could play it either way. The beds in here are pretty structurally built. They are kind of based on the Minecraft design of bed, where it's a red blanket and then there's the white pillow. The pillow space does look a little bit odd until you realize that if you fit a minifigure on there, you kind of need to have that folded away space with the panel so that the minifigure can put their head down. Otherwise, their head would be sitting up and it might be hard for them to sleep. So, there's also a few other accessories in each of their rooms. For this room, we have a stack of letters, perhaps from family members or loved ones. And in this room we have a couple action figures. Perhaps they were sent as gifts, or maybe they're things that the last patient liked. Don't know where the patient went though. Anyways, we also have their phone in one of the rooms. There is a TV sitting out on one side, and the other room just has a small radio, which is, I believe, a sticker for that one. The TV in the other room is just a print. There's really not much to see as far as the roof goes. For that one, we just have a large H on the top, kind of holds some of the plates on top structurally. And there's also this box here that kind of serves as, you know, it could be the ventilation or the electricity box. I'm not too advanced in how buildings are structured, but it seemed like a proper fit. So there we have everything with our hospital, except for the ambulance itself. I'm sure I'll make that at some later time. So something that'll fit inside of the hospital and make it a lot smoother. So this will be nice to add in. This is probably the first completed mock of a larger size for my personal town. You can check more about that. Hopefully we'll be doing a bunch of stuff with it soon. And if I've already published that video and you came to this one, well, now you know. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite parts about this hospital mock are. Are there some things I should probably change here and there? Just little tweaks to make it a little bit better. I know in some cases the colors don't really line up, like the tan here, but it kind of made the flooring a little bit easier to work with. The red along here, not really the prettiest, but again, just kind of holds the structure together without being too out of color, or too instructions not included, if you know what I mean. I think it looks good for now. Maybe it'll be tweaked a little bit over time. And we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. And thanks for watching.